Hi, everyone. My name is Carla Torgerson. I'm the head of learning experience strategy at Torrance Learning. And I've been working on some projects lately that have really gotten me thinking a lot about being learner centered and really thinking about learner centricity in some new ways. And so whether you're doing e-learning or microlearning or performance support or any other form of learning, I really think it's important for us to really think about the learner and the learner's experience through that learning material. So I've been thinking a lot about kind of two big things that we need to think about. The first one is, what's your goal, right? Are you looking to share some content, or are you looking to change behavior? And I recognize that's a spectrum, right? And I also recognize that it's not always, one or the other, right? We sometimes share content to change behavior. But there's other times when it's really clear, right? If you do these steps, your behavior will change, right? And so I think what we really need to do is kind of be clear, where on that spectrum are you? Are you really looking to share some content, some information, or are you looking to really change behavior? And so then once you've thought about that, then the next thing I look at, the second one, is really looking at the learner's motivation, right? Is their motivation low or is it high, right? And again, we've got that spectrum happening there. But at the same time, I think it's really important for us to ask, what does the learner, what are they coming to this class or this piece of e-learning or microlearning or even this piece of performance support? What are they expecting, right? Are they really excited to take this, right? This is going to be valuable to them. Or are they saying, I've got to consume this piece of content. I know that it's important, but I'm really happy that when that 15 minutes is over that I am done, right? And I think it's really important to be really honest with ourselves where we are in that learner motivation spectrum. Now, it's really easy, right? For me as a learning designer, especially, right? I love to learn. I love to share knowledge and I love to get people excited to learn. But I also have to recognize that not everybody is going to feel as excited about that content as I do, partly because they may not have the same background or in that content area, or they may not be as aware of the organizational goals or the need for it as well, right? And so just really recognizing where we are in that spectrum. Now, I think what's been really interesting to me, and I've been sharing this in a few conferences of late, is that those two really seem to go together, right? When I'm sharing content, right, a new policy that has changed, or perhaps a piece of content that you just need to know about, well, that seems to fit a lot with that low motivation, right? That learners just they recognize they need to learn it. They should be aware of what's going on, but they're going to be happy when those 10 or 15 minutes is over, right? Whereas on the other side, if I can be changing performance and be very clear and specific about how I'm actually aiding you in performing better on the job, that very likely my learner's motivation is also going to be higher. Now, it's possible that those two can be at odds, right? That performance changing piece, it's clear to me it's going to change my behavior. But at the same time, I really don't care. I'm not excited about changing my behavior. Or it's also possible that I'm really excited to learn some piece of content because I'm highly motivated, right? Now, so those can be at odds, in which case I always deflect or defer to the learner. Where is their motivation? Because that's going to be the most important piece in this whole thing. And so for me, that's where I'm really focusing lately. And so when I'm designing a piece of instructional material, again, whether it's microlearning, whether it's e-learning, performance support, mobile learning, like whatever you're developing, right? Then really focus, step back at key times and say, if I was the learner, would I want to take this? Would this be something that would be interesting to me, right? And again, their motivation may not be as high as we want it. So we're going to try to infuse things within that learning to try to address that as well. So with that, I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop there for this video, but I'm going to ask what you think. Do you focus on your learner? And if so, are those the kinds of questions you ask? Do you ask about content versus performance and learner motivation? Or are there other things that you're thinking about or asking about as you design your content to try to be as learner-centered as possible? Go ahead, type in the comments below and let us know what you think.